Robert Downey Jr., the name which fascinates millions of fans worldwide. This name became an emotion for numerous people, especially in 2019, after the release of one of the best and iconic movies, Avengers Endgame.
Avengers! Assemble.
You might have also experienced whenever someone talks about Robert Downey Jr., the image of Iron Man or Tony Stark or Sherlock Holmes comes to your mind. Well, the reason is the praise we have for him is most probably because of the iconic roles he played, being Sherlock Holmes and Tony Stark. This video is brought to you by Answerly, a question platform that pays you for adding high-quality answers on different questions. The users are rewarded in Answerly tokens, which they can easily convert into dollars or any other cryptocurrency by using one of the exchanges mentioned in the description. Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we will dive into the best movies of Robert Downey Jr. If you're new here, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to get updates whenever we post. Robert Downey Jr., born April 4, 1965, is an American actor and producer. Downey was named by Time magazine among the 100 most influential people in the world, and from 2013 to 2015, he was listed by Forbes as Hollywood's highest-paid actor. Watching Downey Jr. shift and adapt when those spirits enter his body is a sight to behold, and the truest highlights of the movie. He can capture his essences with such precise humor. Downey Jr. has even claimed this as one of his favorite works. Well, no doubt Robert Downey Jr. has also given life to many other iconic characters of Hollywood. So here we are, bringing you a list of the best of his movies. Let's go and watch the best movies of Robert Downey Jr. Chaplin. Robert Downey Jr. is completely brilliant in his portrayal of Charlie Chaplin in this 1992 movie. In fact, many people easily forget that he was nominated for an Academy Award for his role here. This epic biopic is long and involved, which provides him a stage to properly showcase his range of acting skills. He fully embodies Charlie Chaplin to the point that even Chaplin's real daughter Geraldine was awestruck at how much Downey Jr. embodied her father. She was too stunned the first time she saw him in full costume even to speak. To prepare for this role, Downey Jr. watched all of Chaplin's movies, learned to play both violin and tennis left-handed, and worked with a coach to help him get the mannerisms and posture just right. Good Night and Good Luck. In his highest-rated movie on Metacritic, Robert Downey Jr. stars as real-life journalist Joseph Verschba in this dramatization of Edward R. Murrow's clash with Senator Joseph McCarthy in the 1950s. Directed by George Clooney, who also co-starred and co-wrote the screenplay, Good Night and Good Luck is a stylishly bold movie that earned several Oscar nominations for its look, like art direction and cinematography, as well as a drama about brave ideas that earned another major nominations that year for Best Actor, Best Picture, and both Best Director and Best Original Screenplay for Clooney. Tropic Thunder. There is perhaps no riskier role in the history of motion pictures than that of Kirk Lazarus played by Downey in Tropic Thunder. Directed by Ben Stiller, the film centers on a group of narcissistic actors, action star Tug Speedman Stiller, five-time Oscar winner Lazarus, and crass comedian Jeff Portnoy played by Jack Black, who become lost in the jungle while filming an overblown Vietnam War epic. Lazarus, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Australian, surgically darkens his skin to play the film's African-American platoon leader. A method actor in the extreme, Lazarus remains in character at all times, often believing he's in fact a black man. It's the kind of performance that could easily be cringe-inducing, but in Downey Jr.'s skillful hands, Lazarus becomes a send-up to racial stereotypes and movie star egotism. Heart and Souls. Heart and Souls is a fun comedy with Robert Downey Jr. playing a young man who can see a certain set of ghosts because he's meant to help them with their unfinished business. Watching Downey Jr. shift and adapt when those spirits enter his body is a sight to behold and the truest highlights of the movie. He can capture their essences with such precise humor. Downey Jr. has even claimed this as one of his favorite works. Another significant part of this film is witnessing how well he sings when he sings the national anthem. It's an excellent preview of future roles that involves his singing. Zodiac. Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo, and Jake Gyllenhaal share the screen in this modern classic based on one of the most grisly unsolved cases of the late 1960s and early 1970s. As San Francisco Chronicle crime reporter Paul Avery, Downey expertly captures the wariness of a journalist on the road towards disgrace after becoming a reluctant investigative mentor to his Zodiac killer-obsessed colleague Gyllenhaal's Robert Graysmith, whose book serves as the basis for the film. From director David Fincher, Zodiac is a deeply haunting, brilliantly acted, dialogue-driven masterpiece that has been largely influential on the brazen authenticity that true crime dramas have attempted to emulate since. Iron Man. The only out-and-out lead role in this list is, of course, for the movie that reinvigorated the actor's whole career. Iron Man was the first MCU movie and still holds a place of reverence within the massively successful franchise today. Providing an origin story for the hero, a brilliant but selfish heir to a weapons manufacturing empire, the movie gave Robert Downey Jr. the opportunity to show his comedic chops to a wide movie-going audience, and the billions that the MCU has raked in since Iron Man's release speaks to their resonance with fans. Due date. We're all aware of the comic skills of Zach Galifianakis thanks to the Hangover series. Due Date is one such movie which brought together Zach's pun and Downey's sarcasm in one frame. The movie is all about a high-strung father-to-be Peter Hyman, Robert, who's forced to hitch a ride with an aspiring actor Ethan Tremblay, Zach, on a road trip in order to make it to his child's birth on time. Natural-born killers. Robert Downey Jr. also donned a faux accent, this time Australian, to play Wayne Gale, a yellow TV journalist chronicling the bloody trail left by Mickey, Woody Harrelson, and Mallory Knox, Juliette Lewis, in director Oliver Stone's Natural-Born Killers. Downey chews gaping holes into the scenery in this role. Who could more accurately be labeled as the true film's antagonist for his obsessive, sensational coverage of senseless violence, mirroring the unfortunate reputation associated with some forms of media in real life? Sherlock Holmes. Robert Downey Jr. won his second Golden Globe for donning a faux yet relatively convincing British accent to play the iconic 19th century private investigator, proving just a year after his debut as Iron Man, he has what it takes to lead more than one franchise. Under the direction of Guy Ritchie, Sherlock Holmes, which also stars Jude Law as Dr. John Watson, reimagines Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's creation as more of an action hero than previous and subsequent iterations. But Downey's dazzling portrayal still honors the detective's antisocial predilections, addictive personality, and most importantly, his incomparable powers of observations, which carry through, satisfyingly so, in the 2011 sequel. Captain America: Civil War. This film is Downey's most layered performance as Tony Stark. The Russo brothers, as well as the film's script, deliver an emotional and smart character study of Tony. The movie is very much a Captain America movie, but his relationship with Tony is put on center stage. The movie deftly balances several characters without becoming convoluted or messy. Civil War remains among the MCU's best offerings, and as mentioned, Downey's most emotional work is Tony Stark. And that's it for today's video, guys. For the rest of his life, Robert Downey Jr. will be remembered by his biggest fans as Iron Man. Yet, hopefully you realize that there are plenty of other Robert Downey Jr. movies worth watching. Ready to fall in love with Robert Downey Jr. all over again? What do you think is his best movie of all time? Let us know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. If you like this video, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to this channel. To learn more about Answerly and Answerly tokens, check out the links in the description.